Thank you, Bob. Thank you all for getting back together. Last time I saw Victor was here in this room. I know it was probably true for many of us. That photo in particular is something I'll never forget, that stare. That was the most terrifying stare that existed in humanity, was Victor Garza's stare, right? When he was staring, you knew he meant business. And, you know, as a council member, I was occasionally subjected to that stare. And then when I became mayor, I remember getting that stare, and I just saw Norberto Duenas, so I was thinking about that right around the time as I came into office, and we were thinking about who we were going to appoint to be our next city manager. And Victor cared, obviously, about Latino leadership. And he saw me in an event, and he gave me that stare. He said, "Here, you're considering your next city manager." I said, "Enough with the stare. Basta. We don't need the stare. We're going with Norberto. Don't worry about it, Victor. We'll be all right." But we all knew what he meant. We all knew where the stare came from. As much as the stare was terrifying, there was no more affirming a hug than you could get from Victor. And as a public official, you need some hugs too. That's not a bad thing. And Victor knew how to dish out both, I think, in appropriate doses. You know, it really came down to, as public officials, I mean, we were obviously in a different position than maybe others in the community, and Victor knew that his job was to keep us accountable. I heard that word. I think David mentioned it. Actually, both Davids. And it's so true that we had to be accountable because there were a lot of vulnerable people in the community that depended on us being accountable. And I think David Lopez articulated it so well with the phrase I think so many of us have heard so many times as elected officials: we're going to be watching you. I hear that ring over and over again, and it's a good thing to hear. It's our community's conscience. We're going to be watching you. But he knew, Victor did, that it wasn't coming from him. It was coming from the community. That he was speaking for veterans. He was speaking for youth, the criminal justice system. He was speaking for students at San Jose State. He was speaking for hardworking families, for immigrants. It was always about the community. I don't know a single person who's done more in his retirement than Victor Garza. He was a pretty busy guy for someone who was retired. And this really became apparent to me, I think last year I started getting texts from folks about a community center in Texas that was named after him. I thought, what the heck is Victor Garza doing down in Texas? But sure enough, same stuff he was doing here, stirring up good trouble. It's just a testament to the man. He just had so much energy and so much passion. Retirement meant nothing to him. And I'm grateful for that. Our community should be very grateful for that. I learned a lot from Victor Garza. I know that many of us did. But I remember most and learn most is that we need to honor those who might speak with too loud a voice because they know and we know they're speaking for the voiceless. Thank you, Victor.